Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the HSEL tonight. I am Raymond, Mr. Encryption Habis, and casting with me tonight is Benjamin Tico Lee.
Hello, guys, and welcome to this great tournament that we are very fortunate to cast.
Tonight's teams are Applecross Senior High School Team B and St. Joseph Bank Secondary College Team 1.
Yeah, and these guys have a really nice lineup. We have on the side of Applecross, we have Wolf is awesome top lane, Ryu jungle, we have Stair Bannister mid, and do you want to continue with this one?
Stair Bannister mid. Okay, and on the side of St. Joseph's, we have Chocolate O'Pain in the AD carry position, Mather in mid, Chingwong Z in the jungle role, Break Even in top, and Erethan as support.
Yeah, and it's a really nice lineup we have here. Now, this is a game between bronze and silvers. We have two teams in the low division, but it's not going to be a game without any action happening.
Absolutely, going to be action-packed. As always, I'm excited to see what these teams bring out tonight.
Yeah, and it's... Sorry, continue. Yeah,
it's going to be action-packed from the top lane all the way through the bot lane. All these players have a stacked lineup on either side. And before we get into Champion Select, I'd like to thank the organizers of the event, the teachers and the students for taking the time out and joining us this evening.
Yeah, this is a really great tournament with different high schools all around Australia coming together to play against each other. And we have different teams from different states. So we have each state playing against their teams in their own states. We have Victoria, Southern Australia, Western Australia. This is a huge tournament all around Australia. And I just love how Riot and how the Crows how Adelaide have brought this together.
Absolutely. It's just a wonderful incentive to get kids playing against each other, to get teams and teachers active in the esports scene. It's certainly a brilliant incentive.
Yeah, and the teachers, we want to give credit to the teachers. They're the ones bringing this together. I mean, sure, the students may have brought up the idea, but the teachers are the one putting it together, making sure everything goes to plan, and just being the ones for the students and making this happen for the students. I mean, I would have loved to do this when I was in high school.
Absolutely. I'm sure I would. I definitely would as well.
Yeah, and it's a great experience for the students as well. They can work as a team, and it's to get their mind off their high school right now. We do, like, currently they're in the middle of, well, I would assume a lot of these students are in the middle of their exams right now, and this is sort of a
good way to detach from the study.
Yeah.
And cool down a little bit, chill out, have some fun, and then focus back on their studies once they're done.
Yeah, it's a really good way to just give them a breather.
Most definitely, most definitely.
Yeah, it's to help them make sure that they have the time that they want to do it, and also, I mean, it's just a bit of fun. It's at the end of the day, League of Legends is a video game. It's fun, and so this tournament, it brings students together, brings teachers together, it puts a school together. And for the finals, I'm hoping that a school will be able to host this for a live event.
Absolutely. Hopefully every school will be able to do it, and we look forward to the results and the finals. But let's focus on this game, and away we go.
Exactly, and we're just going to wait. We have hit 7 o'clock, so hopefully we will be starting this game very soon. But until then, we will just have to keep talking. Yeah, it's not a very high-elo game, as I stated before, but we do have these two teams. They've played all over the map. We've tried op.gging them. We're not getting too much information from these two teams, but at the end of the day, this is a game, and looks like the players are ready, and we're going to head straight into it.
Okay, let's head into pick bands now. We'll see what we're going to get from the side of Apple.
Yeah, so
Applecross.
Yeah, Applecross Secondary High School. This is their name. Applecross, full name, Applecross Secondary High School Team B. And they have already picked a ban, and that is Yasuo.
Okay, Yasuo is definitely a big mid laner right now. Very strong lane, very, very good team fight, very good split push. Definitely don't want him in the team.
No, we definitely don't. Yasuo is being taken away, but we also have a priority ban as well. Priority ban or pick is Kaisa.
Definitely. Kai'Sa is one of the strongest AD carries in this meta. She's not reliant on that crit stat. She can build into the Ginsus, build into the AP, build into the crit if she needs, and still be super strong.
Yeah, and we also have the Jarvan ban. Now, I haven't seen a Jarvan in quite a while, but Jarvan, he has the impact in the game, so that's been taken away.
This could be a target ban against Qingwong Zed because he has been playing it a little bit in solo queue. So this is probably their way of saying, I'm not going to give you comfort.
I'll beat it out of you.
Yeah, no, comfort picks is something you definitely want to take away in these sort of games, and they have taken away the Vi from Rikyu.
Absolutely. Vi is another one of those high impact champions, especially in the early game. She can gank at level 2, she can gank at level 3. She's just a full on gank jungler. Looks like they've also banned out Darius. He's one of the stronger top laners in this meta, since the bruiser meta is slowly coming back in. Definitely don't want that on either side.
Yeah, sorry about that. Bit of technical issues, but we do have the Sona ban, the poke support taken away as well.
Poke, not to mention heal and CC. She has all of it in one kit. Definitely a power pack ban.
Yeah, when they reach that level 6, she's going to be powerhouse, but she has been banned away, so they're not going to pick her. But we have the Xayah lock-in.
I can see a counterpick Rakan here to take away the Lovers bot lane, maybe, if they so choose, but instead they're going to go for comfort and go in with the Nocturne.
Yeah.
Now, Nocturne is one of those super high impact junglers we can see picked. He's got the ultimate, he's got very good wave clear, not to mention he can gank at almost any point in the game, and he functions as an assassin.
Yeah, and we're waiting to see who they're going to pick second. They're not going to take away the Rakan, so that leaves the option open. They hovered Orianna, hovered Veigar, hovered Vel'Koz, and went back to Veigar for the lock-in.
Veigar's one of those scaling mid laners. Very mediocre in the early game, but once we get to that mid and late game, once he stacks up, he's an absolute monster at those points in the game.
Yeah, not to mention the huge amount of burst potential that he has. But to counterpick that, they have picked Fizz.
Fizz is a very risky pick into Veigar. You don't have the range to match his wave clear either.
Ooh.
Okay, Shyvana and Blitzcrank picked in.
Wow.
Okay, looks like they're going for a power farm jungler.
Yeah, so Rikyu has locked in Shyvana, but we also have Blitzcrank support for Mathers.
That's a big pick. They're going to need a very safe peel support, maybe a Braum, maybe a Tahm Kench to counteract that.
Yeah, he just has the pick potential, the amazing pick potential that Blitzcrank can bring. So they have taken away the Caitlyn. Not exactly sure why, since Xayah has already been picked.
Interesting they ban out the Caitlyn. Caitlyn can't really be flexed into other lanes. They've already picked an AD carry, but looks like there's a counter ban from the side of Applecross to say goodbye Vayne.
Yeah, they've taken away the Vayne. Now, she isn't great in the early game, but mid game, late game, she's a powerhouse. They have taken away Rakan, though.
Definitely. Lover's bot lane is now no more. Taking away Rakan disallows Xayah to do as much burst damage as she can, so definitely a good ban.
Yeah, but they've also taken away Tristana, a safe pick, but also a very dangerous pick.
Most definitely. Tristana's one of those laners that start off very slow, but as the game progresses, Teemo, this could be a Teemo AD carry. Is this what I think it is? A Teemo AD carry?
Oh my!
It still could be flexed into the top lane, and there's that Braum pick we were talking about earlier.
Okay, so there's a Teemo being picked. You talked about the Braum before. They have picked the Braum, safe against the Blitzcrank, but we have a Sion hover up top lane as well.
Sion with the Banner of Command. That is going to be huge. That impact will be very hard to push against in the laning phase. And it looks like it's being counteracted with the Garen.
Oh my gosh, so we get to see a Teemo AD carry.
Most definitely. Teemo AD carry. I was thinking it was going to be a flex pick, but when he put in that heal, that solidified it. Teemo ADC. I'm excited.
Yeah, I am so excited. I really want to see how this plays out. A Teemo and Blitzcrank. I haven't seen this combo before. I've seen it where Teemo goes top, but I haven't seen it like this.
Yeah, it's interesting. Teemo AD carry can be one of those ADCs that he has the blind, so he has that way to counteract a lot of the damage coming out from Xayah, but then Xayah still has the feather caller for the majority of her damage as well. Then another thing to note is Garen has taken barrier and heal, has gone for the complete safety.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how Garen is going to be able to deal with heal and barrier, how he's going to be able to deal with a Sion who has teleport, the map pressure that they can apply.
This gives him full combat advantage, but it gives him no mobility because he has no gap close, nor any blink to separate him. And if he does lose the lane phase early, which hopefully won't be the case for either side, but it could happen, it will storm disaster because he would be very, very down in EXP.
Yeah, you would be. And now I want to focus more on this mid lane. We saw the Fizz and Veigar pick. Now, Fizz was picked after Veigar. How do you think this is going to play out laning phase and towards the mid game?
This game should play around the junglers, I think, most, simply because they're both very high impact junglers. Shyvana, once she hits that level 6, is an absolute monster. Especially if she gets ahead, she just gets steamrolling, and then a lot of the time the game snowballs out of control. But at the same time, Nocturne, if he plays his cards right, if he doesn't farm overly much, if he ganks at the right times, can get all of his laners ahead, and it could be an absolute stomp.
Yeah, one thing to note though is Applecross doesn't have much range. I don't know how they're going to be able to deal with the amount of, I'm not going to say poke, but the amount of potential that Joseph Banks has with these picks.
Absolutely. Because of the lack of range, they need to be very weary of Blitzcrank hooks. They need to be very weary of Veigar cages. They need to be very weary of even Nocturne Paranoia ultimates. So altogether, it's going to be a very interesting comp. It will come down to execution. Who can execute the composition better?
Yeah, you're not wrong. We do have quite a few tanks to peel for Xayah, to peel for Mackendall and Stair Bannister. However, Stair Bannister will probably be looking for the backline. But they have two and a half or 3 tanks to peel for Mackendall. So hopefully they can do that job properly and keep him alive to deal as much damage as he can during a team fight to help them win.
The double tank and bruiser composition certainly will help that. But then again, the amount of pick potential from the side of St. Joseph's Banks College is immense. They have Blitzcrank hook, they have Nocturne ultimate, they have Veigar cage. All of those things that come together are very, very strong.
Yeah, you're right. If they do manage to get a pick onto one of the two, either Fizz or Xayah, they are going to get deleted. I'm not talking 1 or 2 seconds before they die, enough time to react. I'm talking about Blitzcrank hook into the knockup with a Garen ultimate as well as a Veigar. Once they take a pick, they are going to just go ham.
Not just that. If they pick anyone off on the map, it will crumble the entire composition because they lose that amount of peel. So the way they've drafted is excellent in a team fight, but if they do get picked off, it's almost inevitable that they may fall behind.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, we do have this top lane is very interesting. Now, a Garen, yeah, I haven't seen much of a Garen in this meta right now, but Garen into Sion. Sion's got a lot more poke than Garen, and I really want to see how this plays out, not just at the laning phase, but how they're going to help with the team, since Sion is such a heavy tank and can help more in team fights, and compared to Garen, who is more of a single target sort of damage dealer.
This will come down to, I guess, the split push if they choose to play around it. Garen is a better split pusher. He can build into AD. He can build into those bruiser type stats and get away with it. Whereas Sion will be the ultimate team fight engage. He has the ultimate. He has the peel. He has the tankiness, and he has the CC as well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. He does. And this Sion, Hextech Sion, that's a really lovely skin. But he's also gone Grasp of the Undying, so he's looking to sustain in lane, and he's looking to, I'm going to say, scale into the late game to help peel. Not for the laning phase, he's looking to protect his carry.
Both top laners have gone with Grasp of the Undying. They're both champions make full use of the Grasp of the Undying rune. So I can definitely see why they've gone for that.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going for, I would say, fairly standard starts. We do have a blue side leash for Joseph, blue buff leash for Joseph Banks as well. But we do have more safer sort of standard start for the Applecross secondary high school.
Starting safe isn't necessarily a bad thing. They want to push the maximum and get their jungler ahead early. So if they can get their jungler out and roaming and scouting out and denying, that's definitely an ideal strategy.
Yeah, and one thing to note is that Teemo has gone Ares, so that's gonna be 80 damage that's not gonna be there, because it seems like Teemo is going for the AP build instead.
They have a good amount of mixed damage on either side. Teemo can still dabble into the Ginsu's Rage Blade and the other AD items that a lot of AD carries can get. And it will be fine. Just that's something that the side of Applecross need to look into and definitely itemize against.
Yeah, and we just have to focus on Melanoid, see how well he can peel for Mackendor, see how well he can keep his AD carry alive enough to, I mean, it's not just Brom, but he's going to be the main focus on trying to keep Mackendor alive.
Most definitely. That's the support's biggest role, is to ensure that his AD carry gets the maximum amount of benefit.
Yeah, and it's not just Melanoid that needs to do this, but you're right, he does need to make sure that she stays alive. But this, looking up its top lane, Sion has already brought Garen down to half HP. This is not going to be an easy laning phase for Garen.
And such is the nature of Sion, that wave clear through the minions, and he can poke out at the same time. So he's going to push in all day and give Garen a bit of a rough time. Not to mention he has an EXP lead now, which means he gets to level 2 first. And unfortunately, a second ability for Garen.
Yeah, and he does have a Doran's Ring as well, so that E is going to be dealing a little bit more damage than it should.
Absolutely. Interesting thing to note, Garen has taken a cloth armor with 3 potions, so he does get that extra amount of sustain from the potions. But not as much tankiness, because he's neglected to go any magic resist.
No, you're definitely right. He doesn't have any magic resist to stop that Sion from using the main poke that he usually does to poke out his laners. But look, there's a flash coming out from Xingwang. He's been caught out, and this is not the good start that they want.
Most definitely not. That was very well played, tracking the enemy jungler from the side of Applecross College. They knew Nocturne would be at his... They knew Xingwang would be at his buff, and they played it accordingly, and made a very, very calculated invade. Very well played.
And that is not a start that they want. As I said before, Xingwang, he's burnt the flash as well, failing. I mean, I think he usually has his smite on his D, but unfortunately, he used flash instead.
Unfortunately, he must have misclicked, and it cost him a death and a buff. And that's not what you want on a Nocturne as an assassin-type jungler. You want to get him ahead. You want to get him on the map, making plays.
Yeah, but he has picked up the Hunter's Talisman, so he's going to be looking to sustain in this jungle. Not many ganks will be coming out from him now that he's fallen a bit behind. He's got a few of his jungle camps taken as well.
Absolutely, this is going to cost him hard. Setting him back behind with the new jungle changes is a bit rough, but there is a bit of catch-up EXP he can make use of as the game progresses, so he shouldn't be too far behind.
Yeah, and one thing to note also is that Sion has picked up the red buff, so he'll be poking out Garen even more, and he's forced to use one of his summoner spells to heal.
Unfortunate, but that is the nature of when you get behind as Garen and when you get ahead of Sion. It's just Sion does aggressive things and you can't really do much to other than now sustain.
Yeah, it's poke, poke, poke all day for the Sion. Look, he's level 5, Garen's level 4. They can't do much about it right now. There's no gank going to be coming from Nocturne, so Garen just needs to play very, very safe.
Not even that. He's down by about 24 CS, and that's huge considering he's been in lane almost the entire time. And there was the invade from Wolf of Sosm and RGHU.
Oh, I was wrong about the gank. So Nocturne's looking for something mid. Fizz is trying to get caught out, but the baby cage doesn't come in, and he dodges, stops this gank from being successful.
Very well read by Fizz. Very well. Unfortunately, it was well executed, but unfortunately a little bit slow perhaps on the execution between the two the two players from the side of Joseph Banks.
Yeah, and I mean, I understand why Fizz was picked into Veigar, but look, Mathis is being taken down by this team. Exhaust has been used on the support. His shield comes up, but there will it be enough to keep him alive? He's used his health potion, he's used his W, but McIndoll brings back the feathers to secure the kill.
Very well played from the side of Applecross there. Unfortunately, he held the flash. If he flashes there, maybe a different story. Maybe they back off, but a little bit greedy, I think, there from Matha.
Yeah, no, he needed to use that flash to stay alive, and because of that, the bot lane has pulled ahead. Look at the CS difference between the two AD carries, or AD carry and AP carry, but it's 20 CS difference.
20 CS of differential and a kill, that puts them approximately 800 gold the lead, which is quite big in this early game. That is the difference between a BF sword and a pickaxe.
Yeah, and you can tell the difference between these two teams. There is a 3,000 gold difference between these two teams. And looking at this mid lane, Fizz should be outpoked by Veigar. They have used heal in the bot lane to keep them healthy, but Fizz should be in a disadvantage because of his range, but he's not.
Unfortunately, Breakeven isn't using the advantage of the range to outpoke his laner, and because of that, he's letting Fizz free farm. The one saving grace is that Veigar is hyper scaling. He can just stack forever and gain almost an infinite amount of AP.
Yeah, you're right. He will be a late game monster if they get to that point.
3,000 gold the lead at 7 minutes in. It's still very possible. All they need to do is execute things right, and they're still in the game.
Yeah, they are still in the game, and we do have stopwatch coming up very soon for Veigar. So if Fizz does want to go for that all-in style that he can pull off, Veigar will have that stopwatch to keep him alive, and I mean that's an essential item that they want to keep up.
An interesting thing to note is that we look at top lane, and that lack of TP is really, really hurting Erethan. He hasn't taken TP, and he's down 50 CS.
Yeah, and it's showing. Look, there's an all-in going out in the bot lane, though. Ultimate has been used on Mathis. Teemo is way too far behind to help out his support, and the Rust Iron Golem will go down to McIndoll with the ultimate.
That was very well played by the bot lane of Applecross. They played that very well. Braum ultimate and Xayah, excuse me, Featherstorm. Absolutely stunning. And because they'd used the flash earlier, and the side of Applecross knew about it.
Oh, the flash has been used from these two bot laners. Oh, Teemo barely escapes with that one, unfortunately.
No flash, no heal. Now the side of Applecross is free to push the turret and get damage off, and really unfortunate because there's no one to defend. Nocturne being as far behind he is, can't really make any use of being out there on the map.
Yeah, but talking about free pushing, look how far this turret, look how much health this turret up top lane has. Sion has had the free push because of the map pressure that this Garen doesn't have.
Exactly. And we look at the summoners used. Sion hasn't used anything this entire game because he's just had a free push, free poke, and he's been able to free farm. It's 9 minutes in and he's at 80 CS.
Ultimate has been used by Ethereum, but dealing much less than he wants to.
Unfortunate, because the ultimate of Garen, Judgment, does missing health damage, and since Wolfisosm was at near full health, it doesn't do as much damage.
Yeah, Erethan going in for the full again. The Unstoppable has been used. The train, he knocks him up, and then last auto for Wolfisosm is going to be able to pick up a solo kill up top lane.
Being as far behind he was, he probably shouldn't have gone for that play. Unfortunate that he had to try and all in there because he's down 70 CS and now down a kill. It's very, very hard for him to make anything out of this. He needs his jungler up there to make do.
Stair Bannister taking a bit of poke in mid lane, but Blitzcrank hasn't been able to do much. Look at his mana bar. It's at full because he hasn't been able to land a, well, he hasn't used a hook to try and land, but in comes Shivani, uses the ultimate to try and lock down the AP carry, as he goes down. Mathis goes down second, a double kill going over to McIndoe.
Unfortunately, there was no vision out on the map. This gank could have been avoided had there been 1 or 2 wards, but such is the nature of the play. All they need to do is build up vision, and they can deny Shyvana, but it doesn't look like they're able to do that.
And now they're going to push out this bot lane. Sion's got a free push up top lane as well. Probably going to be able to take 2 turrets from this one because there is no map pressure from the side of Joseph Banks. That's first turret going down. Going to look at top turret, and that's going to be another one.
Actually, Sion got first turret, it seems, first. So he gets the solo gold for that, and then the bot lane trio managed to take the second turret, which isn't a position you want to be in right now if you are Joseph Banks College.
And Stair Bannister may be... Oh, never mind, let's focus on top lane. Everything goes in for full again. Gross proxy uses barrier to try and escape. Stun has been used from Wolfisosm, and Wolfisosm knows he is dominant in this one.
I don't think there's much Earthen can do at this point in the lane phase. He's down almost Flame Horizon at 11 minutes. He has virtually no combat stats, whereas Wolfisosm does have that the Barmy Cinder almost built into the completed Cinder Hole.
Sunfire Cape.
Sunfire Cape, excuse me.
Yeah, but I mean, Wolfisosm, he's poking Garen down with his E, and as soon as he gets down low, he knows that he can just back off and wait for a fight that's never gonna come. Because Erethin, he doesn't deal any damage right now. He's got a dagger, he's got chainmail, he's being knocked up by the Scion. Train comes in as well, but in comes the ultimate from Nocturne. He's trying, but bot lane, there's a fight going on now. They're gonna be able to secure Mathis with the last auto attack coming out from Ryu. But Nocturne, he can't deal. He's forced to flash away from Wolfisosm. Wolfisosm taking a bit of damage from Ching Wong, but he's just going to be able to heal that back up with the health potions.
Unfortunate, very, very unfortunate that came to be, but this all came down from their early game play that they made in the red side jungle. That set Nocturne so far behind that everyone has free roam of the map without the ability to react on it.
Oh, Ching Wong taking a bit too much damage, but he's forced to stay up this top lane, deal with the Scion, but he just can't deal with the Scion. You go top lane to deal with something, but you can't deal with it, and we have a Runaan's Hurricane pickup by McIndoe.
Looks like McIndoe is going for the maximal DPS style build. This is something that we've seen sort of pop up since the changes to AD carry items. I like the selection of Runaan's Hurricane. It definitely helps, and it doesn't proc the feathers. It does synergize very well with them.
Yeah, and we do have... I mean, the Event Horizon isn't doing as much as you would like, but looking at this bot lane, Mathers lands a hook. Is he going to be able to fix this? The ultimate coming in from both of the bot laners on the side of Applecross. Down goes the APC. Chocolate Pain, you're not dealing any pain, as there's a double kill going over to the bot lane from McIndoe. Event Horizon has been used. Teleport coming out from Wolfisosm. He's going to try and turn it around with the tankiness that he can. And he's going to try and chase down the mid laner. No, he's going for the jungler, Ching Wong. He used the blasting token to get a bit closer. Event Horizon has been used. He doesn't take any damage, though.
He does have that Raptor Cloak and the Aegis of Leon, so he does have a little bit of magic resist to counteract the damage coming in from break even. Unfortunately, the engage earlier, while seemingly good, they had no vision, they had no information, so they couldn't really make a decisive play. Something they should look into in future is definitely getting more vision out onto that map, because if we look at the map, it's definitely controlled by the side of Apple.
Oh, the hook does land on Stair Bannister, but he's going to be able to troll pull this one out, and he's going to be able to escape with another day to tell the tale. And they're going to be able to secure the last first tier turret standing in the mid lane.
This opens up the map so much. This frees up Stair Bannister. He can now pick a side lane to split push, or he can continue grouping up with the team and do assassin things that Fizz does. Now it looks like I imagine that the side of
The ultimate again has been used up top lane. Ryu, he's pressed the attack. Proc has been used. Heal and barrier on Erethin as Nocturne uses the ultimate to try and keep him alive. But Ryu picks up one. There is a very tanky Sion getting chased down by 3 members. Ultimate has been used by him to escape from that one. He knows he can't take that fight.
Choo-choo and away he goes. He's far enough ahead that he just can tank damage all day. He's just that kind of champion. Sion is very, very, very powerful once he is ahead.
Oh, and he had just picked up the banner of command, so he's got magic resist, he's got armor, and he's got the push potential.
Do you know what this tells me, Tico? Do you know what this build tells me?
What does it tell you, Ray?
It tells me, come at me. What have you got? Physical damage, magic damage. I'll take it all. And I might take one with me while I'm at it.
Yeah, just stand there and let Sunfire Cape do its stuff.
Exactly, and he's building into those Merc treads, so that doesn't want to get CC'd as hard. He doesn't want to get feared by Nocturne. He doesn't want the Vigar Cage to do anything. He is going to be that unbreakable wall.
Oh, Erethin, he goes ham on the bot lane, but he still does no damage. But he has picked up the chainmail armor. He's also got the Negatron cloak to stop a little bit of the damage. In comes Nocturne to try and stop this, but Garen taken down to half health. He's not going to be able to stay for much longer, but Wolf is awesome. He's taken down the 2 bot laners. He's going toe-to-toe, saying, I can take you guys very easily. Ryu is there as well. He's going to try and take down Mathers. Grasp has been used, but Mathers hasn't been slowed. Ryu uses Unstoppable, his ultimate, to try and get him, but Wolf is awesome goes on a killing spree to secure another one onto the support.
And there it is. Bring everything you have and I'll take it down with me. A killing...
He tries to go toe-to-toe again with Chocolate Pain. Chocolate Pain can't take it, however, but his Airy does proc on Ryu, who steps on a shroom.
Interesting thing to note about Chocolate's build is that he's only got the Haunting guys. No other... no other damage items. He's opted into the Berserker's Greaves as well, instead of getting the Magic Penetration boots to try and get maximal DPS. But I'm not sure I agree with it.
And that is the second dragon of the game going over to the side of Applecross, picking up that Infernal Drake this time.
This is not what you want when you are
Oh,
Joseph Banks.
Stair Bannister taking quite a bit of damage from break even, and ultimate there would have secured the kill. Chocolate Pain, however, might die instead. Never mind, he gets knocked up, but he's going to be able to escape from this one.
That's something we've neglected to mention, is the Vigar has been free farm.
Ching Wong taking quite a bit of damage. He gets knocked up. Wolf is awesome. Is going to be able to help secure the kill for Ryu. And now this bot lane second tier turret is under threat. Mathers does land a hook onto the jungler, but maybe not someone you want to land a hook on. Wolf is awesome goes in. He gets a double kill. He gets a triple and secures that second tier turret for his team.
They're just too far ahead to be looking to fight here. They should not be looking to engage. They should be looking back, trying to push their vision out. But I think at this point, the game is looking very inevitable, especially if the side of Applecross does manage to get the Rift Herald or Baron.
Yeah, they are now at 16,000 gold. Difference between these two teams, 16,000 gold deficit for the side of Joseph Banks, and they are pushing this inhibitor.
And they will back off. They want to respect the enemy team. They don't want to overcommit to anything rash. And definitely a choice I agree with. They're respecting their opponents even though they are so far ahead.
Yeah, Wolf is awesome can tank a lot of this. He's got the Sunfire Cape, I've said before, Sunfire Banner. Ching Wong under danger though. He's used a spell shield, he's used a flash, he's gonna get stunned, but he's not gonna be the focus of this bot lane. Chocolate Pain, he's around the side waiting for them to come across. Stair Bannister, however, is there to support, and they know they can't take this one.
Very well played by Matha. He saw his jungler was getting attacked. He saw that there was the chance that he could stop it, and he did, and he played that very, very well. And managed to live out of all of it as well. So that's something you want to see.
Oh, but they might be looking for something in this mid lane. They want to take the second tier turret in mid lane, take it away from Joseph Banks. They want to open up this map even more. to take away the last standing second tier turret. Ryu is going in on Mathers with the help of Wolfsawesome. He gets taken down fairly easily as the pressy attack has been used. He stays alive, though.
They need to push out their vision. They need to try and deny as much vision as possible and push out vision around their base to at least get some information.
Mathers, you shouldn't be standing there for much longer or else you might die. Wolfsawesome and Ryu are going to push this inhibitor turret. They're not going to respect for any longer. They want to take this inhibitor. Look, break even is there. They have 4 members on the side of their team. 5th as Aerothin comes to support, but they're not going to be able to do anything as these 2 damage dealers. Even though Wolfsawesome is a tank, he's a damage dealer right now as well.
Absolutely, in respect, they don't need it at this point. Shyvana has her Triforce. Looks like she's building into the dead man's plate.
Oh my goodness. That damage.
Half health from a single ability on Wolfsawesome. He is super far ahead. He has his completed Q and completed W.
Yeah, look at the XP difference between these two. Level 13 compared to Ching Wong's level 9. This is not a fight that these guys want to take. The only person that comes close to the enemy team is Break Even compared to Stair Bannister.
Fortunately, Break Even couldn't push any advantages in the early game and therefore couldn't...
No, he can't, but oh, that was a great feather recall, and now Vagar is gonna die. Double kill going over to McIndoll.
Very, very well played. Held the Feather Storm until the last second. Got that double kill. And now they can look to move around to Baron or even push that bot tower out.
Oh, they don't want to push that bot tower out. They just want to end this game. Wolfsawesome goes godlike as he secures a kill on the Chocolate Pain. And another one going over to Mathers as they pick up an ace for the team on the side of Applecross. They're not going to look for an end. They are going to set an example, take top tier turret, top 3rd tier turret or an inhibitor turret. They're gonna pick up a kill on the Ching Wong as well. Maybe not. Will he be able to escape from this one? No, he won't. As Melanoid picks up the kill onto that one.
May I call this a perfect game? This is something I don't think we've seen in this tournament yet. A game where one team denies everything. No dragons, no towers, no kills. This was perfect execution by the side of Applecross.
Yeah, it's going really well so far. Hopefully they can keep it. They're not looking for an end. A flash coming out from Melanoid. Well timed as he escapes that one. Wolfsawesome just, you know, calmly walking through that turret, taking, what was it, 200 damage from 4 turret shots.
Why? Because he can.
He definitely can, because he is a humongous tank. He's going to take that 2nd tier turret in mid lane, and they will be looking to push to end fairly soon.
Another thing to note is that Wolfsawesome has gone into that Iceborne Gauntlet build, which means he has the Sheen proc, which means he can take towers better than most tanks normally can.
Yeah, he can, and they have pinged. We do see the side of Just Banks. They have pinged Baron, not knowing. They have no vision of it, so they won't be able to tell if they're doing it or not. But it looks like they're heading towards Dragon instead. That is going to be a Mountain Drake coming up.
They can take Mountain Drake, transition into Baron, secure it easier because they have that extra damage, because it is an objective.
Speaking of transitioning, we have the train going in for Chocolate Pain, a knockup, but it doesn't land as Mathers gets the return knockup, but they won't be able to take him on. The silence doesn't work either, as Mathers just can't take any damage from Wolfsawesome, as Wolfsawesome is just huge.
Chocolate Pain is far too behind in order to do any damage onto this humongous Scion.
Yeah, you talk about a humongous Scion, he's tanking turret instead of the bannered minion, and he knows he can tank it. He wants to keep that banner minion alive. Unfortunately, he can't do that, but he's still going to take that inhibitor turret.
Absolutely. He tanked the tower to maximize the amount of damage the Bannon could do, which was very, very, very smart.
Down goes Chocolate Pain. Another kill going over to Wolfsawesome. Chum in the Waters has been used. A great Zonya's Hourglass coming out, but that's not going to be enough as he goes down to Wolfsawesome. Mathers is getting taken down as well. Ryu goes godlike as Ching Wong is the only one left alive on his team.
And unfortunately, he can't do anything. The amount they choked him out in the early game made it...
Oh, he uses ulti, but he's not going to be able to escape from that one as an ace goes over to the side of Applecross. They take down the second Nexus turret, and they are looking to end this game. Down goes the Nexus to half health. full health. Ultimate has been used, so has teleport. That's gonna be the end of the game.
And that was very, very well played by the side of Applecross. It was superbly executed, superbly played. They played that down to the very letter. That was very, very well played, League of Legends.
Yeah, and that unfortunately is going to be the end of that game. Applecross Secondary High School Team B versus Joseph Banks Secondary College T1. And that game is going to go to a perfect game for Applecross.
Absolutely. Now, looking at the damage charts here, we can see that it was actually the Scion, Wolfenstein, did the most damage in the game. How often do you see that, Tico?
Not very often, especially with a full tank Scion.
Absolutely. We've seen AP Scion, we've seen Lethality Scion, the meme builds, but this was a full tank Scion doing the most damage in a game. This was insane. Second was Shyvana, and third was the Zaya, played by McIndor and RGHU.
Yeah, and the Scion went 9-0. We have the Braum that picked up a kill as well. The only person that didn't pick up a kill was Stair Bannister, unfortunately, because his lane opponent went even with him.
Exactly, and there wasn't much focus around the mid lane like I expected. I thought there would be more focus to get their biggest carries ahead, but instead they focused on the top and bottom lanes.
Yeah, and unfortunately, they needed to play around that Veigar because he was the only one that kept their team in it for that long. They needed to play around him because he was even. He was breaking even with Stair Bannister.
In fact, he had a CS lead, so that's saying something. Considering how far behind they were, he managed to net himself a CS lead. So it wasn't that they played poorly. It was more they didn't play around their advantages, and that's something they can look into for next time when they do the VOD review, when they practice or scrim, they can play around the mid lane more and perhaps net themselves a lead.
Yeah, and I wanna focus a little bit on these top laners. Now we do have Etherin. He picked up the Wit's End and the Chainmail Armor, but that's nothing compared to what Wolfenstein had. It was just a complete and utter domination up top lane.
An almost double Flame Horizon, and that was pretty much because Wolfenstein played that lane out near perfectly. He choked the Garen out, constantly had him shoved into turret. He managed to roam, managed to get red buff early. He managed to get his jungler a kill early. He did all the things that were correct, and I think that comes down to good team play and good macro, and most importantly, good discussion between the two players, between the entire team actually.
Yeah, and that is going to be the end of this game. This stream is going to end fairly shortly as well. Applecross Secondary High School versus Joseph Banks Secondary College. One game going over at Applecross. That's going to be a point to their name, and we will look to see how this will end, how we're going to go for next week as well.
Absolutely. Thank you for casting with me this evening, Tico. Thank you everyone for joining us, and we'll see you next time.